Hey everyone, Editor Steven here with a quick intro. Obviously follow my guest, Lisa Wallen. Check out her special, Lisa Wallen Leaves the House. Also follow her on Twitch. I'll have all the links in the show notes, obviously. And it's my birthday. If you're watching this when it comes out, it's my birthday on Friday. I have some very special things planned, birthday fundraiser, all that good stuff. So be sure to check out See Jurassic Right at Stephen Ray Morris. But come on, let's get into our episode with comedian Lisa Wallen.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Filled with awe and fright, see Jurassic Right, bathed in amber light. See Jurassic Right, see Jurassic Right, right. See Jurassic Right, right. See Jurassic Right, right. See Jurassic Right, see Jurassic Right, see Jurassic Park.
This is See Jurassic Right, and I'm Stephen Ray Morris, and I'm just going to introduce my guests because they're fucking hilarious, and we're in my notes. They're a comedian, a writer, a streamer, and they have a new special called Lisa Wallen Leaves the House. It's Lisa Wallen.
Yay! Hey. And here I am not leaving the house.
It felt like we were doing a little show and tell before, just because we both have Pokemon in the background, so... You know.
We do, but I need to show you my fat Pikachu, so give me a second.
Yes.
I'll go grab him.
Oh my god! Yes!
Do you want to know the funniest story about this fat Pikachu? It's incredibly millennial coded.
Hell yeah. Well, it is the 30th anniversary of Pokemon, so...
It is, and unfortunately his tail's falling apart, but I've had him since 8th grade because I found him in a movie theater when I was going to see Napoleon Dynamite. Is that not the most millennial story ever?
That is.
It was after the movie. We stayed past the credits, and someone left it there, and I asked everybody, and nobody claimed it, and so...
That's considerate of you.
Yeah. So I was like, this is mine.
And this actually I feel like ties into your special a little bit, but I'll post it, but a picture of me at a Pokemon tournament in Westminster here in Southern California. And it's me as, you know, when I'm 12 and like 30 pounds overweight next to a fat Pikachu holding the original Pikachu card. And so the nerdiness was strong from the begining, but also, I mean, your new special was recorded in a video game store. How did that come together?
I actually I was going to self-produce it here in LA, and then my friend in Denver has a company called Dude, I Don't Know. That's what they're called, their studio. And they've just started recording specials. And he goes, hey, just to let you know, there is a video game store out here that does don't tell comedy shows, and they can fit 50 to 100 people, like, because they do like Magic tournaments. He goes, what do you think about having this as like a backdrop? And I already knew I was never going to make it on Netflix or Hulu or Prime. So, because you can't technically have licensed, like, you know, Nintendo stuff, Magic, like there's so many licensing things involved that it would never be on a streaming service. And since I went in knowing that, I was like, I'm going to do it now before I blow up and get famous. And it was called Level 7 in Denver. They have multiple locations. This one specifically, I think, was the biggest, and we had to take down some of the Pokemon and Nintendo stuff just in case, because they're very like big sticklers about their IPs. They've like I have Legend of Zelda tattoos, and they're like, we can never hire her. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, there you go. There's my Nintendo career. But it was so much fun because like so much of my material is, I do a lot of like normal material, but I also want to try to dip more into the gaming and nerdy stuff because that seems to be what Instagram thinks I do. And so I think that was the most comfortable I felt on stage, but at the same time, I kind of forgot I was recording a special, so I'm a little too comfortable in some of it. Like, I'm not really in like, gotta make sure like this is perfect mode. It was more like I was just kind of riffing and having fun, and it ended up being pretty good, actually.
Yeah, no, it's so funny. And
the gamer lighting and everything, you know?
Yeah, no, it was so funny, and just the way that you're able to like weave in your real life, and I don't know, it just was super relatable and super funny. And I guess, yeah, just to start from the beginning, do you remember your first like video game experience or games that stood out to you growing up?
Oh my gosh, my earliest memory literally is watching my dad play the original Zelda on NES. It's like I woke up and immediately started telling him what to do. Like I was like 4 years old and was like, "Dad, you don't go to the cemetery yet." I was like, I don't have any memory prior to that. I think I have a small memory of getting killed by the shop owner in Link's Awakening, but like Zelda is my earliest memory. It was literally like I woke up from babyhood, toddlerhood, and was like, "Dad, you're at the wrong place. Like, you need to go here." I was like, I don't know how I knew that. I didn't have internet back then, so I just knew.
You grew up with like the Nintendo Power in your head.
I did. I think I was raised on Nintendo Power. Yeah.
No, and I feel like I've talked to a lot of people on this podcast. You know, for me, Jurassic Park was like my earliest memory. So then was that something that you did with your family? Like you would play games together, or did you kind of like, all right, now I'm going to play?
Now I'm taking over. Actually, yeah, my dad was really into Zelda. And my whole family, like my extended family, is like our family had the Nintendo, my other family had the Sega. So we get together and we play like the old Simpsons game on the Sega. We play Sonic. We play like, like Altered Beast, Dash and Desperados, like all the weird games that Sega came out with. And then my dad stopped playing video games when the Nintendo 64 came out because he was like, I don't like the graphics. And so then I took over and I became like the diehard. I was basically just a Zelda fan until high school when I finally like started playing more PC stuff because I was able to have a PC then, but it was like small stuff that wasn't, nothing really big. I think like the first PC game I played was like Terraria or something.
Oh, okay.
And then I got a PS4 and then that opened up my whole world to everything else, but it was almost strictly Zelda and like Nintendo and like Pokemon IPs until I was like late in high school.
I feel like that. Yeah, for context, like I basically stopped playing video games for like 15 years, and so I feel like a lot of people, probably too, who got back into gaming during COVID, with like Animal Crossing and stuff. But do you feel like your gaming habits have like changed, or do you still feel like it kind of captures? You still kind of have that zone from when you were a kid?
It's more intense now. Like, I started streaming during COVID because I couldn't do stand-up. And at the time, I was writing a weekly Twitch show for G4, rest in whatever. But I was writing like an anime show weekly for them, and they're like, well, we kind of need you to start streaming because this is going to be on Twitch. And so they're like, why don't you just build your own channel? And so I did. And the first thing I streamed was Hollow Knight, which I thought was funny because I had already beaten it. And I was like, oh, it's a small game. Everyone's like, wait, if you like Hollow Knight, do you play the Souls games? I was like, no, I'm too scared. And then that's why I started playing all the Souls games, is because of streaming. Everyone like kind of forced me into it. Same thing with the Yakuza games, Metal Gear Solid, like basically all the games I was missing out on. It has completely changed my life, and also the type of jobs I get too, because I was so Nintendo focused, it's really hard to get any sort of gig with Nintendo. Like you can't be a stand-up comedian. You can't be inappropriate at all on the internet. You got to be like, I'm just an innocent 35-year-old woman. Like you can't be real. And so the minute I started opening up my world to other games and reviewing them and stuff, that's when I feel like my habits sort of change. And now it's hard because I should be doing a lot more comedy, but I could also be playing the new Resident Evil. So
gosh, like that to me seems like such a magical skill of like being able to play a video game and still be present to a chat. Like how do you even go about doing that? Has that changed at all since you started?
Yeah, I just yell while I play games. Like when I don't play on stream, I feel like I'm going crazy because I will still talk like I'm streaming sometimes.
Wow.
And realize that my cats are the only ones watching me. Yeah. And see, he's just sleeping. Like he doesn't even care about me, So, but yeah, it's weird because I've always been a yapper. And then when I started streaming, people would just pop up and start conversations with me. And then that just kind of became the norm. And honestly, I don't stream nearly as intense as I used to, or I'm not as interactive as I used to be, but that's because I've been playing Silent Hill and like all these other scary games, and I'm just dead silent, like trying not to get scared. And then I'll be like, oh shit, I'm streaming. Yeah. But I think I've curated a very millennial audience of people who are just like, oh, we're just here to hang out. Like I don't really get trolls. I don't really get a lot of like harassment as much as like when I first started. I think my audience now is just very much like, well, here's Lisa and she's just doing a thing. It's like I'm a zoo animal at this point, you know? They're just observing me. You know?
I started watching some Let's Plays and stuff. I feel like when I would need something like while I'm working kind of thing and stuff. But I've noticed, that people who Twitch stream or my friends Molly and Alex from Star Wars Explained will they'll build Lego. And it's like, I don't know. I feel like as a person who likes watching that stuff, it kind of feels, there's like a little community there.
Yeah, I mean, it's much different than comedy because it's like my comedy audiences come out to shows and they enjoy my jokes and stuff, but it's not as personal as like streaming. But also streaming can also build like that weird parasocial relationship you have with people. Like I've had like a couple people from my stream would like come to every single comedy show or like they'd be DMing me constantly. And it's like because I create like a friendly environment in my stream, they're like, oh, she must be my friend. And it's like, I'm friends with some of you, but not all of you. And so that's kind of the weird thing I have to deal with that I didn't have to deal with in comedy as much. But it is kind of cool to do shows and have people show up and be like, dude, I'm in your stream. And I'd be like, what's your screen name? And I know their screen name, but not their name. And it's like, God. I'm going to call you Greg and not OBGYN Kenobi, which is my joke. So
that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Were you doing like Elden Ring and all that kind of stuff?
Oh,
Was that...
I'm kind of bummed that Twitch got rid of like the VOD stuff. Like you used to be able to save all your VODs and now they're like, oh, you can only have a certain amount of number. I'm like, well, that kind of defeats the purpose of Twitch. So now all my VODs are just sitting on an external hard drive and I refuse to get rid of them because I'm like, I spent so much time on these games and had so much fun with them that I just want to keep them forever.
Wait, what does VOD mean?
Oh, VOD is like when you're playing, like the whole stream is recorded. So like I have VODs of me playing Elden Ring, Bloodborne, Dark Souls 3, like all of my reactions, my entire playthroughs. And it's like, because doing that on stream was so much more of it was a much more special experience than it was doing off stream. It's like, I don't want to get rid of that memory. Oh,
I didn't know that. Like, again, I'm such a newbie when so like they don't save everything. Or
they
is that
used to. They got rid of it because they're a big evil corporation owned by Amazon.
But I feel like that, I know when you think about experiences with your friends or like the kind of work that like we've done, or like that's the kind of stuff like that's like a diary almost. That feels so special.
It's like a podcast.
Yeah.
Yes.
What about those games? Because you said it was kind of like when you were streaming and stuff, they kind of got you into that. What is it about? Because I downloaded Elden Ring and I got scared and turned it off. Like that was my experience with it.
I think there's so much. I think it's healing from like decades of misogyny of being called a fake gamer my whole life. Because like growing up, everyone played Nintendo and PlayStation and Sega, and then it came to a time where it's like Xbox came out. And it's like if you're not playing first-person shooters or Call of Duty or Halo or all this stuff, then you're not a real gamer. And so I wouldn't be able to hang out with my guy friends anymore because it'd be like, oh, well, Lisa plays kid games, which I always thought was funny. I was like, Zelda is not a kid's game, but like those are the reason why I'm good at Souls games. I can discover secrets is from all the skills I learned from playing Twilight Princess and Ocarina of Time. But I think once I started playing these games, it was just like, see, I'm a real gamer. I can beat this hard game, you know? It was almost like trying to heal like the broken gaming child in myself. But also, I think for me, I did my last roommate, not my last roommate, my last roommate before that, my good roommate, he's a game developer. And he also kind of showed me like how he views games differently from people. And he'd be like, oh, I don't like this game because I immediately like am being told what to do. There's too much dialogue. Like, I just want to play the game. And then when I'm walking around, I want to feel like the controls are natural and not that I have to search for what's going on. And that's also why I love Dark Souls 3 so much, is that you just get dropped in, you walk around, and you're like, oh, I can choose to figure this out on my own, or I can also go through like a mini tutorial. And I like that. I like just being put in there. And also just the combat is so good. It's so hard to play games that don't have that same kind of like visceral, like the sound design, the aggression, all of that stuff. And then also finally beating a boss that you spent hours on just dying to is like, doing that on stream is such a beautiful feeling because people are literally cheering you on like you won the World Series.
Oh, wow. That sounds so nice. That's, yeah, because I played a little bit of Silksong last year.
Oh gosh.
But I jumped into it without playing Hollow Knight, and I feel like maybe that was a mistake.
I think I haven't even beaten Silksong. That's how hard it is. Hollow Knight I've beaten 3 times.
Okay, maybe
so there. Yeah, I think Silksong is just like, oh yeah, you thought Hollow Knight was hard? Check out this shit, you little bitch. And I'm like, oh, okay. I'm sorry. I'm just a cute bug with a sword. I didn't know I had to get my ass kicked all the time. Yeah, Silksong is pretty hard. I will probably go back and play it, but I needed a break.
So that when you're playing some of these games, you would play them first and then play them on stream, or is it more fun to play it for the first time on stream?
I usually play them on stream for the first time. So Silksong was different because that was like a game that I had to play on my own because after 4 hours of streaming, I'm like, okay, see you next week. I'm like, no, I have to keep playing this game. Like Silent Hill was perfect because it was like, short 20-hour game, I can just play that on stream. Like there isn't a lot of side stuff I need to do. But Silksong very specifically was like, I'm not streaming this, okay? Because you guys, I'm not going to wait 5 days to get back into this and then lose all of my skills and all of my momentum. Yeah, like games that are that hard, it's hard to take breaks, I would say. But most of the time, if it's like a game that my community is very excited about, like Resident Evil 9's about to be out, or will be out when this episode's out, like it's like, oh, I want to play that on stream because we're all reacting to it together, you know?
So then when like there's cutscenes and stuff, everyone's kind of like huddled around together, like
all 6 of us, we're just all huddled around our computer. Yeah. And sometimes like what was really cool is Metal Gear Solid's a really good example of like, this is why I like variety gaming, is that I had never played a Metal Gear Solid game in my life. And I was like a little embarrassed by it because I feel like that's such like that's a rite of passage when it comes to gaming. But when I started streaming it, I thought like people were going to give me crap for not playing it. But really, I just got like all these thirsty Metal Gear Solid fans that were just desperate for any sort of new content because there hasn't been any. And they're like, what? Someone who's never played Metal Gear Solid before? I have to watch it. And then I win them in with my personality and my humor. And then they're like, oh, I really like her. I want to see what else she plays. And that's the part that I love. And then sometimes those people leave. Like they just want to watch you play one specific game and they go away. But I still love that. It's just like, oh, they went out of their way to find some new content for the thing that they love, and it's me. And I like that. So that made me feel good.
That's really cool. Yeah, no, I mean, I feel like I've heard that from other friends who stream where it is like, oh, I stream Subnautica, but then I want to try something else. And then, I mean, it seems hard, but is it that kind of thing where is it like you're just kind of seeing what people are responding to, or are you actually like asking them, being like, well, I'm undecided about this or that? Like,
I treat streaming like I do comedy, is I'm doing it all wrong. So like in comedy, it's like, yeah, I should be like going to the comedy store and like, you know, just brown nosing a bunch of like shitty white male comedians.
Pauly Shore. And
yeah. Bobby Lee, you're the best. Like, put me on one of your shows. Like, yeah, I should be like going and, you know, basically rizzing up, I should say, these comedy store comics and hoping that they'll notice me one day and not try to sleep with me and then maybe feature for them. Like, yeah, I should be doing that. I should be taking advantage of the networking part of comedy, but I very much am not in the same realm as other comedians. Like, I built my audience because of my niches and my interests. Like, not saying they haven't, and I never undermined their talents and whatnot, but you know, there's a different vibe between like those type of stand-up comedians and then people who stream and do comedy, which there's like 5 of us. But I teach streaming the same way, where I realize my methods and what I do is challenging, because to be a really good streamer or a popular streamer, like, being consistent is the best thing you could do. Like, playing one consistent game. That's why a lot of big streamers are like esports streamers, or being a chatting streamer. But me, it's like, I play variety. So it's like, sometimes some games will give me like 200 viewers, and then sometimes they'll give me 18. And I've just realized to just not care. And because honestly, all I want to do is play the games and have my community see me play these games. So I could just go straight into Fortnite and stream Fortnite 8 hours a day and hopefully get more viewership and more money, but I'm not going to have the same audience as I would if I played like a Yakuza game or a Metal Gear Solid. So I just, everyone asks me for streaming advice. I'm like, don't, I'm doing it wrong. Like, you really just got to do it because you love it. I do comedy because I love doing comedy. I do streaming because I love streaming. And I don't love it enough to be doing it right. I should say I love it in my own terms.
I mean, I actually saw something yesterday of like, I'm going to explain it really badly, but it's like, we're now a reverse centaur oriented society where you have
reverse centaur. I love that.
Because it's like the horse is the SEO, search engines optimization. It's like following the trends and stuff. And then, if you're making content that way, you're never going to win because you're always going to have to change yourself in order to, in order to try and maybe get what is popular instead of, if we're actual centaurs where we are doing our own, or however the metaphor works or whatever. But I really related to that.
Yeah, instead of a horse's ass, you have a human's ass and a horse's head, right? Something like that. There you go. Yeah. I mean, I also think just in the creative, like, I mean, because you're in the same realm as me where it's like everything is just being pushing on, like, you have to be consistently posting. You have to always be like, promoting stuff. You always have to be creating stuff, but like, don't go too far off of the things that you normally do because it's going to fuck everything up for you. And I'm like, well, that's hard for me because I post both comedy and gaming content. And sometimes one is sometimes they're completely opposite from each other, like gameplay versus stand-up. And so my algorithm is always going to be messed up. But everyone's like, then make 2 separate accounts. I'm like, you're asking for too much for no benefits. Yeah.
No, the thought of like having to make, I mean, I've had multiple accounts in the past because like of, again, and the rules change every 5 years.
Yeah.
The rules change every 6 months. Like
it changed right now as we're talking. Yeah.
Do you remember your first, I guess, how do you get into stand-up comedy? Were you watching like comedy specials growing up? Like, or how did you get into that?
It was really as easy as like, I don't want to learn a new skill, but I'm funny. I was like 24 and I was like, I could learn how to sew or I could just talk into a mic. Like, it was like that. It was like, I stopped playing sports. I really, at the time, most of my friends were just like partiers. So it's like none of my friends wanted to do things that were like, I don't know, maybe we can go try archery together. But I was 24, I was young, and I was like, well, what can I do that I think would be like a nice hobby? And so I started doing stand-up as like a hobby. I was like, oh, I'm just going to try one open mic. And I did it, and I was terrified and didn't do it for months. And then after that, somebody DM'd me, was like, hey, like I saw you do comedy back in like February. I thought you were really funny. Have you tried doing it more? And I was like, no. And they're like, well, you should, because you have potential. And then there you go.
Whoa.
And I've taken time off. Like I've taken a year off, and I also took obviously COVID off. But I'd say since like 2021, I have been very consistent about it, which is funny because I started in 2014 and was not very consistent. I would do a show like every 3 months. I get scared. I guess I felt like it was hard to connect with comedians because everyone's like main character energy.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is a lot. This is like, it's like trying to talk to chickens, like we're all just like, bark, bark, bark. And it's like, that's a lot of chickens in one room together,
I know. And if you, what are they called in Zelda? Cuckoos,
Yeah, they have a bunch of, everyone's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs at the same time. There you go.
I mean, it also, and I feel like my experience having worked with comedians and booked podcasts and things like that, like that's the stuff you don't realize. I feel like if you're an audience member where it's like talking to Lori Kilmartin and it's like a Tuesday night and she's so doing funny. 3 shows in a row and driving around LA. And I was like, I feel like people don't appreciate the dedication that comedians have to this.
Oh yeah. I mean, like I don't work nearly as hard as she does, but she's also been doing it a lot longer. But me, it's like when I first moved to LA, and even when I got back after COVID, I was going to shows every single night. I would stream and then go to a show or an open mic.
Wow.
And I really need to get back into doing that, but I love going to bed at a reasonable hour. And like, that's literally what it takes. Like people think, oh, I got a big TikTok following from doing short form videos. Maybe I should try to do stand up. And they do, and sometimes they're good at it, but then they try to like book headlining shows. They're like, oh, why isn't my millions of followers coming to my show? I'm like, well, it's a different audience. It's like podcasting. Like everybody wants to be a podcaster, but like podcast listeners are not social media people. Like you have to know your audience. And same thing with comedians that go to Twitch streaming. Like it's even if you are funny and you see the skills of becoming one, like you have to hustle in a way that you've never had a hustle before. And that's why I get kind of mad when people are like, you should get a real job. And it's like, okay, I've worked 2 fast food jobs. I used to drive a forklift and worked overnights. Yeah, I was Ryu from Shenmue, 100%. I used to work overnight shifts, like stocking groceries, and like was like a forklift trainer, which is hilarious because I was like 25. And this is the most demanding amount of work I've ever had in my life, because unlike the labor-based jobs I used to have or fast food-based jobs, my paycheck isn't steady. I have to always be on. I have to always be performative, which I think is really tough, especially when you're like going through stuff or when you're not feeling well. You still have to be like, ah! When I was driving a forklift, I could show up to work looking like shit. No one cared. I could be in a bad mood as long as I did my job. But unfortunately, with a job that's like very demanding and very on camera, you can't really be like that. And the constant needing to be creative with everything that you do is also very mentally taxing. So, so burnt out, overwhelming. Like these are things I never really felt when I was just working 40, 50 hours a week. I had the different type of burnout than I did now.
Yeah. No, I mean,
Not to go on that tangent.
No. I mean, I had my surgery and I didn't get disability, or I didn't get, I wasn't getting paid because
they got a how dare you. That's what they got.
I mean, it's scary to it was scary to take 2 months off of my life, basically, so yeah, like I think people really, I think you're right. Like when people look at, oh, I got this sponsor or I got this thing. And I think some of that, I don't know if for you, but some of that shine has worn off. We're like, okay, I got these like free shoes, but I already have shoes. I don't necessarily need.
Can I sell these for medical bill money?
Yeah, exactly. No, that just made me think too, because obviously you enjoy playing video games still. And is there just a way, is that something that you're like, okay, is there games now that you set aside just for fun, or is it basically still just trying to have the most fun while you're streaming?
Right now, I'm barely playing anything off stream because of my what I was just saying. Like the other bad part about being like a creative person or a person working in entertainment is that it's really hard to get yourself to relax.
Yeah.
And that's been a big struggle for me because I also have OCD, and like real OCD, not like TikTok OCD. And so it's really hard for me to relax sometimes. And so at the moment, like every once in a while, I'll play like Elden Ring Night Rain because it's so much fun. Or I'll play Helldivers with my friends. But it's been really tough lately to try to get myself into the mood of like relaxation. Because I also stream late now, so I'll be done streaming at 10:30, and then since I'm old, I'll be like, well, time to wash my face and then go to bed, So, but most of the time I usually keep like my multiplayer games off stream, or like I'll pick up Silksong. I still play Slay the Spire on my phone all the time, even though I have 400 hours into the mobile version of it and Balatro. But yeah, I basically save most of my gaming for flights now. So if anyone wants to buy me a Switch 2, I'll gladly take it.
I mean, I had a very moving experience beating Subnautica to spoil the game, you have to fly off the planet. So I was literally flying over the ocean in the game and on a plane flying over the ocean. And I like started sobbing because it was just
heard Subnautica's like, it's on my list, even though don't worry, you didn't spoil it. It's on my list. Everyone's like, it's a game that you can only experience once and it's so beautiful. And I'm like, but isn't it first person?
It is first person. Yeah.
So if I play first person games for too long, I get nauseous.
Really?
Yeah, I know because I'm a nerd.
No, I think I realized because like obviously growing up in the same like Ocarina of Time is my favorite game growing up, like that, and the N64 generation. I feel like so like getting back into gaming for me was hard because of the like always working, can't relax, and I realized for me, I just want games where I can explore. So like I've really been enjoying the Frontiers of Pandora game because I'm like,
oh my gosh,
I just want to be in a Navi body. I want to wander around. I don't even want to like fight or anything. Like, I just want to like run through the jungle. Like,
you could play Elden Ring like my 7-year-old niece is. It's just run around your horse and collect garbage and loot, and that's all she did. And then the minute there was an enemy, she'd just like throw it at my sister and be like, "You beat it."
Because I've just watched other people play, and it does look really like the world itself and all that looks so impressive and cool, and the lore sounds so fascinating. So maybe I should play it like your 7-year-old niece. That
make it
fun.
a cozy game.
Turn Elden Ring into a cozy game. No, that's how I think of Subnautica. Subnautica is just Animal Crossing, but you're in an ocean with sea monsters, but you still get to make a home and a base and explore.
Oh,
yeah.
See, maybe that's an off-stream game. That was my Stardew Valley. I think Stardew Valley, I made 4 farms.
Oh my god! And
I kept marrying the same people over and over again.
I should play Stardew Valley because I was a Harvest Moon kid. Harvest Moon 64.
Stardew Valley will ruin your life. It is that good. And the cool thing is the guy who created it is kind of from my hometown and based the game around like the back roads of like basically like Auburn, Enumclaw, which is basically where I'm from. So I have a bit of like a home feeling when I play it, but you would be obsessed. I have actually a really funny story about that game because my best friend, who I write a lot of jokes about because she's never played a video game in her life, she's like very homeschooled growing up. She wanted a game to play. And I was like, well, and she doesn't like combat. She's like, I'm like a cozy person. I'm like, well, you could play Stardew Valley. And she goes, oh, I don't know what that is. Cause she got a Switch for Christmas. She's like, I don't play video games. I was like, must be nice. So I gave her Stardew Valley and she is the only person I know who has platinumed the game.
Whoa.
Twice. So she got so obsessed with it and she was like, Lisa, I need a new game to play. I've put 1,000 hours in Stardew Valley. It's the only video game she plays and she's like a professional at it. I'm like, you have no idea how much power you have. Like you could easily just ruin everyone's life by being the best, most dedicated gamer. But unfortunately you love selling meat and wine too much. And now she's like, I can't wait for the next one to come out. She's like DM'd the game developer because she like does understand. She's like, I even messaged him, was like, when's your next game coming out? I was like, you can't do that, but I get it. Like, no, you're writing an email to the CEO. I get it.
I love that. No, I mean, yes, Subnautica 2 is just like, I'm chomping at the bit for it, and all the drama surrounding it has been really depressing, and it's like, I just want to be able to enjoy the game.
Please play Stardew Valley. Oh my gosh.
Okay. I was also thinking, just because, like, to me, getting back into gaming like going from the GameCube, like RE4 was like the last game I played as like a teenage, like when I was 14 or 13, whatever, whenever it came out. And then, and then I jump into the modern era where it's like DLC, downloadable content, online, all like just, 20 years
pay to play type stuff. Yeah.
But it just seems like the cool thing about gaming now is that it feels like almost games are surrounded on like having more like moments. Like, are there gaming moments that you really remember, like as an adult? You're like, wow, that was really exciting. Like you said, your stream cheering you on. Was there stuff like that you can remember?
Oh, 100% Yakuza 0. I don't know if you ever played a Yakuza game, but no. Yakuza 0 was like the first. Because I've always been like Zelda lore I really love, obviously, and I actually really love like the Souls lore and stuff, but I was like, I really just want to get immersed into a very direct story, like, because Zelda and Dark Souls are kind of like indirect storytelling.
Yeah. Kind
of Zelda, but like
Breath of the Wild, like, for sure, yeah.
Yeah. But also like I have this joke about how it's like, dude, I'm 35. I do not want to keep playing as cat boys and like young 17-year-old men. Like, give me a video game where like the protagonist is like a burly, gross dude, like Snake from Metal Gear Solid. And it's like, you got to play Yakuza. Even though Kiryu is like 18 in the first one, but like all the antagonists, all the characters are just like rugged old Japanese mafia criminals, and I'm in love with all of them. But the game is like so goofy at the same time being serious, which I think is like, if you can pull off like being able to have like a serious storyline with like goofy like sides, like that is beautiful storytelling, because it makes those like serious moments a lot more impactful. But the end of that game, this was like COVID, so I was like getting drunk every night on stream. I was sobbing, like my whole face is just wet, like snot, tears, everything, because like the story was just so beautiful, and everyone on my stream like watched it with me, and people on my stream were like sobbing, and people were like, "I'm so happy I got to see you experience this." It's those moments that I'm like, oh, I love that game, and now that has like a deep personal like memory with me, but also. There's a boss in Dark Souls 3 who I hate her. Okay. She is like the Regina George of bosses. Okay. She is Sister Freed. She's in the Dark Souls 3 DLC. She has 3 phases, which is bullshit. And it took me 6 hours to beat her. Almost 2 full streams to beat this bitch. Okay. And it took me 3 hours just to get to her 3rd phase. I thought I finished the 2nd phase. I was like, oh my God, so good. Just to realize she had a 3rd fucking phase. I'm so sorry.
No.
Anyways, I finally beat her, and the amount of relief that like the cheers, the congratulations, all this stuff, just like I really genuinely felt like I won the World Cup. I was like, and there were some people in my stream were like, this boss only took me 2 hours. I'm like, okay, 2 hours is still a long time. Okay. Yeah. And I also was never good at these games. Like that was my big thing, is that if I can beat a Souls game, you can beat a Souls game, because like I had to play Silent Hill 2 on light combat mode. Like I'm not a good gamer, in quote, even though I play tough games, because I like the learning curve, and I also get very stubborn, and I'm like, no, I will play for 5 hours on this one boss, because I refuse to let this bitch win. She's a fucking computer. I'm a real human, okay? In the world of AI, I just gotta go back and kill her again and be like, that's right. Remember who here is the real boss, okay? We created you, okay?
See, that's lovely. Like,
that's a beautiful memory.
No, but to your point, like I think I was very frustrated with Tears of the Kingdom, because I loved being an archer, and it was those like mushrooms that would make all the enemies fight each other. So I would just like from far away shoot an arrow, have everyone kill each other, and like watch from afar like a sick like pervert, just watching all the bokoblins and stuff kill each other. And then the end of the game involves all this pairing you have to do with Ganondorf, and I was like, I didn't bother learning all that stuff. So then I basically had to like go back and spend time learning all that before I
was too busy building bridges and airplanes, you know?
Wait, so when you're like playing for like 6 hours, are you like taking breaks? Can you pause? Is like or like like do you find you're like, I'm just thinking about, I just had back surgery, and I'm like, if I was like hunched over for like, is that it, like what is that experience like?
I have to remind myself I do work out every day. I will say that. Like I either hike like not to dox myself, I'm there all the time, or I go to the gym, and or I go on a walk, because I know I will be hunched back for that whole evening. Like last night I played Silent Hill 2. I beat the game. It was a 4-hour stream and didn't take a break once. I was like, oh shit, I gotta pee. I think I've needed to pee for like 40 minutes. Like it's bad. Like sometimes I'll forget. I don't get to the point where I need a diaper, because there are streamers out there that do that. But like, no, I usually take a break every couple hours, get up, stretch, feed my cats, whatever. Pet them, annoy them, go to the bathroom, and come back. But yeah, like these gamer chairs, like this one I got for free from my last job. Like these are built to look like racing chairs. They're not built for lumbar support. Like these aren't good for you. Like one day there's going to be an island out there full of gamer chairs, because nobody's going to want them anymore. And that scares me to think about.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, a dear pal, Josh, who's the best Magic player I know, he used to manage a team of, I think it was either League of Legends or Overwatch. And I feel like most of his job was just making sure his kids would like eat and exercise and like go outside for 30 minutes. Like wild.
Yeah, it's also why I love gaming, because I feel like that's the only time where I'm not stuck in my own head, because with my OCD, like I have consistent, constant, obsessive, and intrusive thoughts, and it gets very overwhelming. But with video games, I can immerse myself into a different environment, and that's why I love streaming, because I feel like it's the one time I have to like turn off, I have to be forcefully turning off that part of my brain to focus on something else. And it's also why I love streaming. Like, even with comedy, it's the same way. But, you know, an hour on stage, you're put on the spotlight. There's nothing really much to distract you besides being like, okay, got to make sure I stay funny, blah, blah, blah. But with streaming and playing video games, it's so much easier for me to just relax, because I'm like, well, I could worry about my rent, or I could just try to beat this fucking boss right now and then show him who the landlord is or something. I don't know.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's so cool. Lisa, this has been so great.
You're like, I didn't know you were so mentally ill. I know. That's why I'm a gamer.
We contain multitudes.
Mm-hmm.
As far as Legend of Zelda goes, is there... Because to me, you know, when I was talking to somebody else recently about, like, fictional universes, that'll be fun. I feel like Legend of Zelda would be pretty fun fictional universe to be in.
Oh my gosh. I mean, I have my whole Twilight Princess sleeve. Like, it's funny how everyone obviously associates me with Souls games, because that's basically what I built my platform off of. But like, Zelda is my favorite franchise of all time. I have to remind people that. And I've only streamed a couple Zelda games because I mainly like streaming games I haven't played before. And also, it's just hard because it's like, I could play Wind Waker, but I have to set up my Wii U to my because I'm one of the 7 people who got one.
Wow.
No, Zelda to me is still my favorite universe, because I like they did the reincarnation of stories right, because some games it's like, oh, this is the same shit as last time. It's like, yeah, but Zelda is pretty much the same shit every time, but it's either a different timeline, it's a different generation, it's a different art style. And it was the first games that ever made me cry. It made me appreciate storytelling. Like, everyone hates Skyward Sword because the controls are garbage, but the story itself made me fucking bawl my eyes out playing it. So yeah, no, I don't know how I feel about this Legend of Zelda like the live action they're doing, because like, the minute Link talks, it's over. Like,
yeah, that's gonna be so weird. I don't know, like, that's such the appeal of Link, and I don't know. Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, and so I'm also surprised they were doing a live action. Well, I'm not surprised, but I'm also like, they should have done an animated one, in my opinion. But I don't know. Everyone's like, "Are you excited?" I'm like, I don't know if excited is the word I'm looking for, but I'm interested to see how it turns out. Yeah,
like how. Wait, did they release a photo already from it?
They did.
Okay,
and luckily they have like the right look. Like, they're 2 young, like, obviously unknown actors, because I kind of realize there isn't a lot of young actors as much now these days. Maybe like the cast of Stranger Things
are the only. Timothée Chalamet is,
but he's like 30 now.
Yeah,
that's what I mean.
Right.
Like, I'm trying to think of an actor between the age of like 15 and 25. That is the boomer in me. I can't think of any. So they have 2 very young actors that look the part. So I will give them that. That's about all I could say so far is, yeah, that could work.
Yeah, I mean, so then if you had to pick, would it be Twilight Princess era, or what era would you want to see?
I would honestly love to see Skyward Sword. Okay. I think Skyward Sword's story is so beautiful, and it's the beginning of the Zelda universe.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and also, like, I think Twilight Princess would be cool, but they could not make that into like a movie. That would have to be like a whole series, and they would have to keep it animated, and they'd have to do a really good job animating it. But I think Skyward Sword, you can condense it enough to become like a film or a mini series. But I don't know. I don't trust Hollywood anyways.
Well, I mean, to your point, like, to me, Ocarina of Time was like, the way that you're talking about it, it's like, oh, that kind of really was the first cinematic experience. Like, just getting to like get to Ganon, and then, or Ganondorf, and he turns into Ganon, and then like I can hear the like music and the light arrows. Like, that to me was like growing up, you know.
It's still one of the greatest games ever made. Like, yeah. I've been playing a lot of older games. Like, obviously I played like the Metal Gear Solids, and then I also played Shenmue recently. Like, and I want like I like going back and playing the games I missed out on, but a lot of these games are like janky and like broken and like there's frustrating parts. But I replayed Ocarina of Time. I'm like, this game still holds up 100%. Like it's tough to play anything from the N64 era digitally because of the graphics, but like the controls aren't that janky. There isn't really a lot of frustrating parts. It's pretty much like go from one place to another. It's not confusing, and it's maybe that's just like me remembering stuff from when I was 8, but after playing a bunch of older games where I'm like, why would they do this? This doesn't make any sense. I don't think I've ever felt that way playing Ocarina of Time. I still feel like it's pretty perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh, amazing. Thank you so much, Lisa. This has been so great chatting.
It was fun. I love talking about video games.
Yeah, you have a special. This will come out in, I think, a month or a few weeks. So I don't know if you have any dates, or I can always insert them later, but
I mean, maybe. If they can always check my link tree or my bio on everything. And then obviously watch my comedy special on YouTube, Lisa Leaves the House. Lisa Wallen Leaves the House. Because there's a lot of gaming jokes in there, and it's just a fun time.
Amazing. Okay. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. This was so great. I'm so glad we finally got to chat.
Yeah.
I will, maybe Stardew Valley. After I've survived the frontiers of Pandora, maybe Stardew Valley is the next exploring cozy game that I need to get into.
Yes. Oh my God. Seriously, you're going to message me and be like, why did you introduce me to this game? My life is ruined.
Well, there's a character that everyone always tags that says looks like me. There's this guy with a mustache.
Oh my God. Wait, is it the doctor?
I don't know which one, but I always get tagged in.
Because there's Pierre and then there's another character. I think it starts with an H. Why do I not remember their names? But I've played the game 1,000 times. It's because I keep marrying the women. That's why. The male characters, I'm like, whatever.
Yeah. Nah, we don't need them. But yeah, thank you everyone for listening. Discord.
Harvey. You look like Harvey.
Yeah,
you do look like
Harvey.
You guys kind of act the same too.
Oh, no.
He's very sweet.
Okay, well that's good to know.
He's a doctor, so
okay.
Yeah.
I don't have the same skills, but I have the same mustache apparently. So, but yeah, thank you everyone for listening. Patreon.com/See Jurassic Right. Hold on to your butts, and hopefully you have at least the Triforce of Courage. But if not, good luck. But since we're on video, I'm going to show the original Pikachu, Fat Pikachu, looking super cute.
Do you want to see my Fat Pikachu?
Okay, well, my guest and I we're gonna trade Fat Pikachu stories. I need to see this.